What's shaking, Americans? This is the interview with the FOX-21 News at 9 trio, Brian the Scoop Nemeth moderating. Joe, this is Stephanie Pytlynski, the anchor lady. This is Terry Gerbstadt, longtime Colorado Springs fixture to the Springs weather scene, and Joe Cole, who is the new anchor and news director of FOX-21. Welcome you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
KXRM signed on in 1984, but it signed up to be an affiliate of the brand new Fox network in 1986. It was 14 years until KXRM finally got a 9 o'clock newscast, but it was first produced by KKTV. In your own words, what took KXRM so long to get a 9 o'clock newscast? Let's start with you, Joe.
You mean from the beginning of when Fox had a broadcast network to when KXRM got it? Is that the time?
When KXRM signed on in 1984.
I see.
And then signed on with the Fox network in 1986.
Gotcha.
And you got a newscast in 2000.
That's right. Fox mandated that all of their affiliates have a newscast by X date in the year 2001. They extended that to some to 2002. So the Fox affiliates weren't required to have and carry news until that date. And then the Fox affiliate said, if you're going to carry if you're going to carry our programming, then you need to have a news program. So that's when most of them got on board.
What do you think took so long?
That sounds right to me. I think Joe knows a lot of the background of the station, so that sounds accurate to me.
You?
Hey, I didn't come on board till later on. I know nothing.
I know you and KDVR, the Denver Fox affiliate, have the same history. KDVR got its 9 o'clock news in the same year 2000, 15 years after your station's sign-on in the mid-1980s. Have you ever met with the anchor team of Ron Sapolo and Libby Weaver from your sister station in the Mile High City?
I have not. I've only met with their news director and assistant news director.
And I haven't either.
Yeah.
No, I know none of them.
Joe, a question for you. The late Hal Kennedy of your former employer, KKTV, was not just a news anchor. He was also the news director and assistant station manager. You are also the news director and anchor, but you're not the assistant station manager. When it comes to management and being a broadcaster, how do you feel about following in Hal's footsteps?
Wow. Just to even be mentioned in the same sentence is a huge honor. I never officially met Hal, but everything I've heard from him was he was a consummate professional, a fantastic fixture, and had a wonderful place here in Colorado Springs. And so, I mean, he did it for much longer than I've even done it so far. So, I mean, I would only hope to even come close to what he has done and his legacy in here in Colorado Springs.
You only have about another 30 years to go.
Yeah, exactly. Just getting started.
Then you can catch him.
Yeah.
Have you ever met Hal Kennedy before, Terry?
Yeah, I met Hal Kennedy, but it wasn't in a broadcast situation. I just was shopping downtown one day, and there he was. We were both buying suits at the same store, and we chatted for a while. Yeah, he was a nice guy.
You worked at KKTV, Steph, and what did you think of the Hal Kennedy?
You know, I'd never met him, and that was before my time there, so I'm not that familiar with him, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Terry, you've been a Colorado Springs weather fixture for 20 plus years. First you worked at KRDO Channel 13 in 1984. Then you worked at KKTV 11 in the mid-90s. And now you're here. With all your years here, how do you stand out against Mike Daniels and Madsen of KOAA, Brian Bledsoe of KKTV, and Matt Meister of KRDO?
Well, I think the longevity has a lot to do with it, just like you're talking about. I've been around town for a long time, and people know me, and I just try to treat them like friends. And that's the way I approach doing the weather.
For you, Stephanie, You mentioned in your promo that the generations of Pytlynskis are here in Colorado. What is it about Colorado that your family did not want to live anywhere else?
I think it's just a beautiful place to live. I think it's the best place in the world. I wouldn't live anywhere else. We all love to be outside. We love to hike and bike and enjoy everything that Colorado has to offer. So it's a great fit for us.
Yeah. Your favorite shows are NBC's Days of Our Lives and 24 on Fox.
Yeah, we need to fix that.
How do you mentioned in your bio on the station staff at FOX-21news.com. How do you find time to enjoy these two shows?
Unfortunately, I don't anymore. That's some old information, I'm afraid. I had a daughter about a year ago, and so now that I have a baby girl, I don't have any time to watch television. I watch the news, and that's about it. So.
What's your favorite news network?
Well, Fox, of course.
Fox News Channel, home of Bill O'Reilly, Shepard Smith, Geraldo Rivera, Britt Hume.
You bet.
The stereotypes that people put on news anchors. Inexperienced pretty boys are hired just for their faces. They read off the teleprompter, get handed a script done by the writers, and a producer talks into their ears. That is just bullshit. Sorry for my language. There are some anchors out there that are not only news readers, but they write their own scripts for their designated newscast, produce their assigned newscast, and make the camera directions and call the shots. Joe, how do you use your management skills and the one-man band experience to counteract the stereotypes that people put on newsmen?
Well, I think the biggest thing that we have here at Fox-21 is we are a small staff, so we are very team-oriented. Everybody has to pull their weight. There can't be somebody up on a pedestal that does nothing and just comes in and they're a pretty face. We don't have any of those in this building because everybody has to work when you're in a short-staffed environment. If you look at some of the numbers just across the board here in Colorado Springs, our nearest competitor as far as newsroom people, 44 at KKTV. They have 44 people in their newsroom. We only have 19. So, and we only produce 3.5 hours less than they do a week. So we are all about the team. So everybody has to wear a number of different hats. There are slashes after everybody's names. So there are a lot of different things that go on here at KXRM that we absolutely have to get the most out of each journalist in the building.
Yeah. Same with you, Stephanie. Getting typecast as a ditzy Barbie doll behind a desk, but you connect with.
It was not Newsblad.
No. But you connect with people from being a mom and your family tree in the community. You have a degree from CU Boulder, and you know the tricks of the trade. You have writing skills and excellent communicating abilities. How do you use your education, journalism skills, and people skills to counteract what people think of female newscasters?
I think a lot of times people think that anchors don't do a lot of writing, and in bigger markets a lot of times they don't do a lot of the writing. But here we do a lot of the writing, and I think that helps the newscast in a lot of ways. I think it helps me as a journalist because for a particular story, you may have 5 minutes of copy, and you need to narrow that down to, say, a 20-second story. So you're reading all of the details, all the ins and outs of this particular story, so you have the whole background of that story, and then you can pick what's most important in that story to translate into a 20-second story that may air. So I think a lot of times, if you've actually written the story that goes to air, you have a better understanding of it than if somebody else wrote it and you just read that 20 seconds. Does that make sense? You have all the background to it. So I think in terms of a journalism background and a lot of background in writing, that helps also to communicate to the audience if you've actually written your stories.